Kristen Denise Smart's case is an example of why parents and other loved ones rarely ever give up hope for answers and for justice, nor should anybody tell them that they should. Kristen disappeared on May 25, 1996, while returning to her dorm at California Polytechnic State University in San Luis Obispo, California. She had been attending a birthday party where she did not know anyone. She was last found passed out on a lawn near the party. 2 students tried to assist her back to her dorm when a third person, student Paul Flores, offered to ensure she got home. She never arrived. For many years, police had a prime suspect. For many years, they did not have enough evidence to arrest that person. And for many years, Kristen's parents waited, raised awareness, and worked to find the answers to and justice for their daughter's disappearance. This past spring, they would finally see that justice happen. Nearly 27 years after Kristen went missing, just blocks from the safety of her dorm room. The 2 students who found her on the lawn, Cheryl Anderson and Tim Davis, helped her up and started walking her toward her dorm when they were joined by Paul Flores. Davis would leave the group first because he lived off campus and had driven to the party. That left Anderson, Flores, and Kristen. Anderson lived at Sierra Madre Hall. Flores said he could get Kristen home himself. He lived closer, and so Anderson departed as well. Flores lived at Santa Lucia Hall, block from Muir Hall, where Kristen's dorm room was. Flores made it home, Kristen did not, and he would tell police that he had let her walk the rest of the way on her own. It was sometime after 2 a.m. Originally, her campus police department suspected that she had gone on a vacation and did not report her missing to local law enforcement officers. This was despite the worry of a friend who told campus security that she was missing. It was a week before police had a missing person report, and in that time, it becomes more and more difficult to find evidence of what happened to her. It was 6 days before authorities even interviewed the last person to see her, Paul Flores. Cadaver dogs, though, 4 different ones, would still alert to his room during a search for Kristen. And 2 days after her disappearance, Flores would be in contact with authorities over a different matter, with a black eye. When asked about it, he told 3 different stories as to how he got the shiner. Campus security focused on what Kristen was up to, how much she drank, and how many boys she spoke to, and ignored concerns about Chester the molester. That was the nickname given to Flores by other students who knew him on campus. There was an earring that might have been hers, lost by police after having been found at Flores' mother's old house. There were several searches for her remains, which still have not been located, but it was more than 20 years before leads would come from searches like that. In 2011, a new sheriff promised the Smart family better action on the case. Since he was sworn in, SLO County sheriffs have conducted 96 interviews, 23 search warrants, and collected hundreds of pieces of evidence. In 2016, cadaver dogs and a thorough search of 3 sites near campus revealed items of interest, and another search using cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar found biological evidence that Kristen's body was, at one time, buried under the deck of Reuben Flores' home, but had been moved. A later witness would say that Flores confessed to burying Kristen there, fact that only became known to police after a 2019 podcast saw that witness come forward. Reuben Flores is Paul Flores' father. Subsequent warrants would disclose additional evidence at the home of Paul Flores, including videotapes Flores made of himself raping and abusing young women, along with date rape drugs. Flores was convicted, and in March 2023, he was sentenced to 25 to life. Only a few months later, he was attacked by a cellmate and hospitalized. The slow response by campus police in reporting Kristen missing changed the law in California. All publicly funded educational institutions now have to have agreements between their security services and local police departments regarding missing persons or reported violence or potential violence against students. Kristen's parents started a scholarship in her name to keep the memory of their daughter and all the hopes, ambitions, and impact she hoped to make on the world alive. Kristen's remains have still not been located, and her family would like to put their daughter to rest, to put a period at the end of this tragic story. So if anyone out there knows Flores, knows of his movements at the relevant times, knows where he may have moved Kristen after she was under his father's death, please call the numbers you see on the screen. Remember that you can report tips anonymously through Crime Stoppers, and in this case online at the FBI's website. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying these videos and want more, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.